Hey folks, this is Keough with a new training video for you. You're going to see me do my Monday session. This is the beginning of week 3, so I'm going to do some squatting and I'm going to do some pause benching. I did do a comparative analysis for speed on the squats. I compared week 1 to week 3. Week 1 I used 295 pounds, and you're going to see all of the times listed right here on the left hand side. And on week 3 I ended up bumping it up 20 pounds from week 2. So I'm up 30 pounds now. I'm using 325 for 4 sets of 9. And was really happy with the speed on these squats today. This is definitely the best squat session of the entire cycle for me. I actually was able to beat my speed from week 1 by just a little bit, a few hundredths of a second on most of the reps faster than on week 1. So plus 30 pounds, that's a huge improvement for me. So I'm really happy about that. It just moved very well. It was a day after going in and squatting 10 sets of 3, and those were pretty rough. So honestly, I'm kind of surprised that it went as well as it did, but I'm happy. I was training around a few teammates, and they really emphasized the speed for me, which really made a difference. And it's something that I focused on, and it's something that went very well. You are going to see some benching after this. 2 sets of 6 with 225 pounds. And then I doubled up my last 4 sets, and I did 2 sets of 12. And that actually helped out my tendonitis just a little bit. I felt like the extra reps, which were pretty manageable, allowed me to increase blood flow. And I just, with the pump that I get from higher rep benching, I just felt like the tendonitis was responding a lot better to that than having to cool down and start up again and cool down and start up again. So overall, really pleased with this session. I'd say that this is probably the best single session I've had for the entire training cycle. No surprise that it's on the high rep day, because this is where I always seem to do my best, but performed very well. In the time that I have left, I want to give to you a very short story. Last couple of videos I've I guess said some contentious things, and this one is not going to be so contentious. I want to share with you a short story about a friend of mine. We met a few years ago, actually on a training forum, and since then we've become friends. And his name is Steve, and he just did a powerlifting meet. And Steve competed at 181, and he totaled 1260, something like a 450 squat, a 280 bench, and a 530 deadlift. And what's very interesting about Steve's meets over the last year is he's one of a very select few lifters who benches actually with a reverse grip. And the reason he benches with a reverse grip is because some time ago, a few years ago, he suffered a pretty serious shoulder injury. And since then, whenever he would try and bench, he would suffer a re-injury of some sort, and it would always set him back. And so for a couple of years, I would say, he was a low to mid twos bencher. He was just not able to get in enough sustained training time in order to develop his bench. As an overhead presser and as a push presser, he was actually almost as strong, if not as strong, as a bench presser, which is very unusual because usually most lifters are able to bench press over what they overhead press, certainly, but usually also what they push press as well. And so he was much better at overhead movements than he was on his bench press. Eventually, and I don't remember exactly how this development came about, but eventually he decided that he was just not going to compete in powerlifting because he was never going to be able to develop his bench press. So he had decided that he just wasn't going to bench anymore because he was tired of the shoulder injuries. Then a little time went by, and at some point he introduced himself to the concept of reverse grip benching. And there are a few lifters in powerlifting, notable lifters who use this grip. Jamie Lewis is one, and he's a world record holder at 181. He benches reverse grip for a very similar reason. I think he also has a serious injury in his past, probably something with his shoulders or shoulder that has kept him from being able to bench with a normal grip. And so there is a precedent for this, but he didn't know too much about reverse grip. He spent some time with it, he experimented with it, and he gradually loaded his bench, and he gradually increased his bench. And as of a few weeks ago, he benched 300 in training for the first time. And as of this meet, he benched 280, and he just missed 290. He had done the lift, but he was called for downward movement. It was a very close call. There was some wavering at the top, and that has to do a lot with the funkiness of the bar path of a reverse grip. But he'll get that figured out, I'm sure. And I tell you this story because a lot of other people in that situation would have said bench pressing is just not for me, and would have probably never done a meet. And he's done 3 in the last year, and he's constantly built his total. And the only reason why he's been able to do that is due to his own resolve and his own commitment to find a way to figure things out. Because chances are, with whatever's going on in your training, with whatever is preventing you from making progress, there's an answer, and you just have to find it. And some people are more willing to find it than others. So anyway, I figured I'd share that with you. I've been talking to him for a while, and I'm very proud of the progress that he's made. And I know he's going to continue to make progress on his bench, and 300 in a meet is coming for him very soon. Keep checking in. I'll have another video for you tomorrow.